What does it mean to be a leader? Is it about command, or is it about something more? Many of us are under the impression that leadership is about bossing others around, giving orders from an ivory tower. But is that the whole truth? Could there be more to this concept? Perhaps leadership isn't just about dictating terms, but forging your own path. It's about taking the reins, making tough calls, and stepping up when no one else will. Perhaps leadership is not about waiting for directives, but about taking the necessary action yourself. Consider the story of a lone warrior facing a horde of invaders. He stands tall, not because of his physical stature, but due to the strength of his spirit. He's not the appointed leader. His title is just that of an ordinary soldier. But his heart, oh, his heart is anything but ordinary. Our warrior finds himself in a village on the brink of surrender, its appointed leaders paralyzed by fear, awaiting instructions from higher up. But time is a luxury they don't have. The invaders are at their doorstep, ready to unleash chaos. And so our lone warrior steps forward. His sword is his only companion, his courage his only guide. He doesn't wait for orders. He doesn't seek approval. He simply acts, because he knows that inaction in this moment is the real enemy. He fights not with the rage of a berserker, but with the precision of a strategist. Each stroke of his sword, each step he takes is calculated, deliberate. He dances with death, but not recklessly. His every move is a testament to his courage, his wisdom, his unwavering resolve. His actions echo through the village, stirring the hearts of the other soldiers. They watch him, this lone warrior, fighting a battle he has no business fighting. And yet, he fights. He fights for them, for their homes, for their families. His bravery, his initiative, ignites a spark within them. One by one, they join him, drawing their own swords, stepping into the fray. His courage becomes their courage. His fight becomes their fight. And in that moment, they all become leaders in their own right, each one ready to lay down their life for the protection of their village. In the end, it wasn't his title that made him a leader, but his actions. His willingness to step forward when no one else would, his determination to fight when all seemed lost, and his ability to inspire others to do the same. This is the true essence of leadership. So what can we learn from this lone warrior? The tale of our lone warrior is not just a gripping saga of grit and resilience, but a masterclass in leadership. It's a story that broadens our understanding of what it truly means to lead. It's about taking control, making decisions, and taking action, not because someone else suggested it, but because it's necessary. See, our warrior wasn't waiting around for someone to point out the path. No, he took the initiative. He carved his own path. He stepped up when it was needed and took charge. He didn't wait for someone else's suggestion, he just acted. And that, my friends, is the essence of leadership. Let's delve a little deeper into this. What was it about our warrior's actions that made him a leader? It was his initiative, his ability to see what needed to be done, and his willingness to do it. This is the true mark of a leader. It's not about being the loudest voice in the room. It's about being the one who's willing to step up and take action. It's about understanding that leadership isn't just about giving orders or making decisions. It's about taking the necessary action. It's about seeing a gap and stepping in to fill it. It's about taking responsibility and being accountable. And that's what our warrior did. He saw a need, he took action, and he led. He didn't wait for someone else to tell him what to do. He didn't wait for someone else's suggestion. He just did what needed to be done. So when you think about leadership, think about our warrior. Think about his initiative, his courage, his willingness to step up and take action. This is what leadership is all about. It's not about waiting for someone else to make the first move. It's about being the one who steps up and makes that first move. Leadership, then, might be less about command and more about initiative. But how does this apply to us? We're not all warriors, after all. Indeed, we're not all warriors, at least not in the traditional sense. Yet, each of us has battles to fight, be it in the boardroom, in our relationships, or even within ourselves. And it's in these battles that the lessons from our lone warrior story become profoundly relevant. Consider the world of business. It's a battlefield of its own, filled with competitors, market fluctuations, and evolving consumer needs. Here, the ability to take necessary action without waiting for someone else's suggestion is not just valuable, it's vital. A leader who can identify opportunities, anticipate challenges, and then act decisively and swiftly can steer their organization towards success, even in the most turbulent of times. Let's look at another context: personal relationships. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic partnership, or a familial bond, each relationship has its own dynamics and challenges. In these scenarios, waiting for someone else to suggest a course of action can often lead to misunderstandings, conflict, and even loss. On the other hand, a person who can recognize an issue, take the initiative to address it, and do so with empathy and understanding, can help foster healthier, happier relationships. And then there's the battle within ourselves. Our personal growth, our happiness, our peace of mind. These are all areas where the ability to take action without waiting for someone else's suggestion is crucial. Each of us has the power to identify what we want from life, what's holding us back, and what steps we need to take to move forward. And when we harness this power, when we become the leaders of our own lives, we open up a world of possibilities for growth, fulfillment, and joy. So, while we may not all be warriors in the traditional sense, we are all leaders, each with our own battles to fight and victories to claim. The ability to take action without waiting for someone else's suggestion is our weapon, our shield, and our compass. It's what allows us to navigate the battlefield, face our challenges head-on, and emerge victorious. True leaders don't wait for others to tell them what to do. They see what needs to be done and they do it. So are you a leader, or are you waiting for someone else to tell you what to do? This question, though simple, holds the key to unlocking a profound truth about leadership. It's not about titles or hierarchy, it's about action. It's about stepping up when the world steps back, about making decisions when others hesitate, about taking responsibility when others shy away. Think about it. Are you the one who waits for instructions, or are you the one who takes the initiative? Do you wait for someone to point out a problem, or do you identify it and set about finding a solution? Leadership is not a position or a title. It is action and example. It's about setting the pace, charting the course, and steering the ship even when the waters are rough. So, let's reflect for a moment. What actions have you taken today? Have you sat back and waited for others to make the first move, or have you stepped forward and made your move? Have you waited for someone else's go-ahead, or have you trusted your instincts and acted on your own? Now let's challenge ourselves. Let's push our boundaries and step out of our comfort zones. Let's not wait for someone to tell us what to do. Instead, let's take the reins and lead the way. Let's take the initiative, make the tough decisions, and take the necessary actions. Leadership is not about being the boss. It's about being the one who is willing to act. It's about being the one who sees a need and steps up to fill it. It's about being the one who, when others are looking for direction, provides it. Remember, the true mark of a leader is not in commanding others, but in taking the necessary action yourself. So, what action will you take today?